kati ya Marekani na mataifa ya Jumuiya ya Afrika ya Mashariki. Hebu tusikize kidogo, alafu tuje tuendelee pia na mjadala wetu, kando na kusikia pia kutoka Mathare kwa njia moja kwa moja.
Hardworking, willing to learn. And so this partnership around upskilling is a first of its kind U.S. partnership with an African nation that builds on our collaboration with partners and allies to promote the safe and responsible development and deployment of AI. President Biden and his entire administration are deeply committed to our partnership with Africa. As you all know, everyone here well knows, Africa is the world's fastest growing population, largest free trade area, and most rich and diverse ecosystem. We see Kenya specifically as a leader in this effort, a leader in business, a leader in technology, a leader in digitization, a leader in policy innovation, and a model for our engagement across sub-Saharan Africa. Our challenges, our ambitions, in fact, our very futures are linked together. It's in both of our interests to deepen our collaboration, to deepen our private sector investment. And in this trip, I'm really looking forward to strengthening our important partnership. I hope to come away from here, if it's possible, even more optimistic than when I arrived, but really with some concrete ways that we can work together. So my hope is that what we accomplish in these next few days that I'm here serves as the foundation for what we will build upon when we host President Ruto next month for a historic state visit of an African leader in the United States. Kenya has been the clear leader of the revitalization of our diplomatic and commercial ties with the continent, and I know that the work we're doing today will serve for a spectacular state visit when we host President Ruto in the United States next month.
The first question is for Cabinet Secretary Miano from Citizen TV.
Good afternoon, everyone. Jimmy Mbogo from Citizen TV. Madam CS, there's a number of questions. One of them is, what is the ministry targeting in terms of new investments during this summit? Because we understand last year there was about 700 million worth of deals that were made. And also, there have been concerns that have been raised about U.S. companies being able to tender for government deals in the country. What is the ministry doing to streamline that? And also, what are you also doing to streamline the balance of trade between Kenya and the U.S.?
Thank you. Thank you very much for your questions. We are targeting and we are focusing on various sectors this week, or these 2 days of discussions. We are targeting agriculture, ICT, energy, textiles. We are also targeting a lot of green energy projects and the whole of green industrialization. From what I have seen in AMCHAM this morning, we have higher participation than the 3rd edition. We have a lot more delegates who have arrived, a lot more businesses, and Secretary has come in with a big team of very senior officials. Having that in mind, in my estimation, is that we are going to have a lot more discussions, a lot more strategic outcomes than we have ever had before. And I look forward to interacting and having discussions with some of the companies here this afternoon. We will be discussing companies like Coca-Cola, Abbott, Microsoft, Marathon, and many others. And so I want to assure you that we'll have bigger and better outcomes than AMCHAMs of the previous years. In terms of the concerns of American companies participating in tenders, you know that we have the Public Procurement and Disposal Act that has new regulations We want to promote competition. We want to promote transparency so that American companies can have a fair chance and a fair uptake of the tenders that are there. My ministry is very keen in shaping the environment, the business environment, working closely with the Treasury and other departments so that if there are opportunities to be tendered for or that have been identified, they are easily accessible. We will be working on a portal where we can post all the tenders and opportunities. In addition to what we have at the Kenya Investment Authority, all the investment opportunities are posted there. But to supplement and to complement that, we will come up with a portal where all government tenders from all the ministries, be it in the water sector, infrastructure, ICT, health, we can have a portal where all these are announced. We have been informed that many a times companies do not get to even know which tenders are available for them to participate, and we are working day and night to create a conducive environment and to have the right information available, and thereafter ensure that the processes are well governed, are transparent, and are competitive. Thank you very much.
I just very quickly from the U.S. side on that, as I said, I chose Kenya as my first stop on the continent for a reason, which is that we already have very strong partnerships. In preparation for this visit, I spoke with many U.S. companies who've been doing business in Kenya for a long time. They've had a very positive experience here. We, though, think there's a unique moment of opportunity right now and in the years ahead because of President Ruto's leadership. And under his leadership and the steps he's taking, as the Secretary just outlined, we see there's a moment now for greater opportunity. I will say that since the African Leaders Summit at the end of 2022 that President Biden hosted in the United States in late 2022, since that time, we've already seen almost 600 deals and over $14 billion in two-way trade and investment under Prosper Africa. So I think that we have a strong track record, but candidly, I think the best is yet to come in the 1, 2, 3 years ahead of us.
Next question is from VOA, Voice of America.
Hello. Thank you for taking my question. I'm on this side. Secretary Raimondo, I was actually there at the U.S.-Africa Summit in Washington when you introduced President Biden, letting him make his case that the U.S. was all in. And I've just heard you reiterating it. And having been on the continent for a year, I just came from Washington working here now, having seen everything that's been going on, and all the other countries that want to invest in Africa, just you name it, it looks like every single person wants to be here. Why should the case still be that doing business with the U.S. is the best thing? Did you hear that? Sorry.
Say the very last part again.
The last part is just, given that there is a lot of competition, there are a lot of people who want to do business in Africa. What is the case that the U.S. is making that it's still the best partner? It's been there for a long time, and today it's still the best partner to do business with.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. So first let me say, because we're committed to Africa, I've just given a few statistics, but we, like I said, I have more than 14 U.S. companies with me. You know, the United States wants to be the partner of choice. We're not asking you to choose. We want to be the partner of choice. The United States is committed, and our private sector is committed. The U.S. has some of the leading digital companies in the world. The United States leads the world in AI innovation. The The United States has some of the very best research universities in the world. United States has leading biotech companies who want to do business here and invest here. Of course, led the world in the race to a vaccine during COVID, leading tech companies, leading healthcare companies, leading healthcare services companies, deepest capital markets in the world, some of the best and deepest pocketed venture capitalists in the world, some of whom I'll be meeting with later today. So I think there's, no doubt, and also we share values. Democracy breeds economic growth. We share the value of that democracy and of educating people that Kenya shares. And so for all of those reasons, I think the partnership is natural. And I look forward to, like I said, greater prosperity and partnership and two-way investment in the years to come.
And the last question, as time is running short, is KTN Standard.
My name is Noah Kipkemboy from KTN News. My first question is touching on the issue of the agreements that we have. I know AGOA is coming to a close September 2025, almost a year and a half away. Talk to me, is the goal to extend that? And under the same question, also diversifying. We are selling a lot of apparel to the states. Is there a goal to diversify that pool? That is one. Two, there is the element of macroeconomics. This is to Secretary Raimondo. What happens in the states affects here. And we saw in the recent times, at least a year and a half going back, the macros were not very good, so we had a lot of outflows of investment. So talk to us, what is happening in the states macroeconomically that will sort of give that confidence to investors that they can confidently put money in an African market or specifically the Kenyan market? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. As I answer your question, let me ride on that to respond to the question earlier on balance of trade. I want to say that the trade between Kenya and US has shown steady increase, and the value of exports over the years rising from $29.9 billion US 10 years ago to the current $67.9 billion. And the principal exports have been apparel and textiles. It is indeed true that Kenya has been experiencing a negative balance of trade with the US all along, but the trade deficit has narrowed significantly over the last couple of years, especially year 2021 and 2022. And what we are doing as Kenya is we have a new export strategy. We are taking advantage of our industrial spaces to attract manufacturing, to increase industrialization, first produce what we need so that we are self-sufficient, and then have a lot more to export. And we do believe that the US is a safe market. In terms of AGOA, it is true that Kenya has been accessing the US market largely under AGOA framework. And this is an important framework because it provides for non-reciprocal trade between Kenya and the United States. But it is important also to note that it provides for about 6,400 product lines on a duty-free access basis to eligible sub-Saharan African countries, including Kenya.